Are you wondering what impacts your credit score? Well, in this video, I'm going to explain everything that goes into what impacts your credit score, how you can improve your credit score, and why is this even important? So over the past decade, I've helped build my credit score all the way up to an 824 credit score out of 850. Now, this is a very high one, probably one of the highest credit scores that I've seen. And I've done this very strategically over a long period of time. And it's something that knowing what impacts your credit score, once you realize that, it's going to be much easier to build up your credit score and help get it close to the perfect credit score. Now, in this video, I'm going to explain all 6 ranking factors that go into impacting your credit score, and we're getting started right now. So starting off in why do you care what your credit score is? Why does it really matter? Maybe you've never even checked what your credit score is until this video. And there's some really good ways, and it is very important to monitor your credit. And I use 2 free software, which I'll leave links below in the description, but creditkarma.com and mint.com are 2 great free resources for monitoring your financial income and also your credit score data. So Credit Karma is going to be the one where you can find out today for free what your credit score is. And I highly suggest signing up for that. And the reason you want to know this information is once you have a good credit score, you're going to be able to open new credit cards, which are going to come with a lot of great benefits like travel benefits, free lounges, free travel credit. You're also going to be able to take out loans. So if you're wanting to start a business, buy a house, all of this stuff is going to revolve around your credit. And there's so many other things in the financial world that require having a good credit score. So it's something that's important to keep in mind. And then lastly, around half of America's social security numbers were leaked in a huge data breach. So monitoring your credit, setting up free alerts. So if somebody is opening up credit cards in your name, you're able to take action and get alerted about that. And you can do all of this stuff with creditkarma.com. And it's one of the best free resources out there. So make sure you go ahead and sign up for free today. So let's move into these top 6 ranking factors that are going to impact your credit score. Now, all of these ranking factors have different impacts. So starting off with the top 3, these are all going to be high impacts on your credit score, and they're going to be some of the most important ones. So coming in at number 1 is the credit usage. So let's say you have 2 credit cards, for example, and each one of those credit cards allows you $10,000 of credit each. So in total, you have $20,000 worth of credit available to your name. So the credit card usage is basically a percentage of how much are you utilizing of that $20,000 of credit to your name. So let's say you're spending around $2,000 a month. That means you're going to be utilizing around 10% of your credit. And this is a huge ranking factor and a huge impact on your credit score. And one of the ways that a lot of people who don't have a lot of credit to them are going to never be able to really build up their score. So unless you're able to really impact or change the amount of credit to you, you can do this in a number of ways by asking for further credit balance to your name. Because even if you're able to get $5,000 in more credit, it's really going to lower your credit usage percentage. So for example, I have around $250,000 worth of credit to my name. I'm always paying my cards off on time and even early. So my credit utilization score is never really above 3%. So that way, I'm never going to really be impacting my credit score negatively. And this is a great way to really be conscious of gaining more credit to your name, but also lowering one of the biggest impacts to your credit score. So it's something to really make sure you monitor. And if you sign up for Credit Karma, it'll show you what percentage you're using, and you'll be able to easily see how much percent of your credit you're utilizing. So keeping this low, keeping your cards paid off on time or even early is really going to lower this percentage. And it's something that's very important because it's one of the highest impacts. So moving on to the second thing is the payment history. And this is going to be what percentage of payments you've made on your credit card. Maybe you've missed a few payments, so your credit percentage has been off. Luckily, the first thing I do anytime I open a credit card is turn on the auto payment. And a lot of times what I'll do is as soon as I have a balance, I'll go ahead and pay that off, even if it's a few weeks early. That way, a lot of times it's going to lower my credit utilization. I'm going to make sure I'm hitting those payments. And if I don't, or if I forget to pay off one of my credit cards, that auto payment is going to kick in and always pay off those credit cards on time and earlier than necessary. This is another big high impact. So it's important to make sure you turn on the auto pay and make sure you're staying on top of your payments, because this is going to really impact your credit score. And doing this over time is going to help build that score up and really make sure that things are improving. And this is how you build up to an 824 credit score, but it's going to take time. So moving to number 3, this has never really impacted me, but this is going to be things like collections, tax liens, if you've ever filed for bankruptcy, any sort of civil judgments. This is where it's going to really impact your credit score negatively. I've been fortunate enough where I've never had any factors impacting my credit score. So it's something that's been really great, and I haven't had any derogatory marks on my credit score. This is the last high impact category, but some people are not aware of this. Sometimes they'll use Credit Karma and they'll be shocked to see derogatory marks, and that might be what's holding your credit score back. So again, I can't stress it enough. Make sure you sign up for Credit Karma and make sure you don't have any derogatory marks, because once you figure out your identity was stolen and you didn't even know it, you can go and work on getting these fixed, getting these removed from your credit score. Okay, so moving on to number 4 is going to be your credit age. And this is going to be a medium impact. It's not going to be as high as the previous 3 we discussed, but it's still going to be fairly impactful. And essentially, this is going to take all of your credit cards, the age of those credit cards, and give you an average. So what is the average amount of time you've opened a credit card? So if you opened a credit card a year ago and that's the only one you have, your average is going to be a year. But if you open one 10 years ago, it'll take the average of those 2 and it'll give you that. And this is going to be a big impact. So this is why a lot of times I don't close down credit cards. I'll keep them open to make sure that it doesn't negatively impact my credit age. And the secret here is, instead of canceling or closing down these credit cards, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll downgrade the card to a no-feed card, so that way it's not negatively impacting my credit score. I'm getting all the benefits, but I'm not having that credit card closed down. So moving on to number 5, this is going to be a low impact. This is going to be your total number of accounts. This is going to include your open accounts and your closed accounts. And again, depending on how many you have, it'll still impact your credit score, but it's going to be a much lower thing. So this is, again, you kind of need to open more credit cards, and you can see that with the credit utilization, how that's a high impact, but having a lot of credit cards is a low impact. So you can kind of see, like, opening up credit cards is one of those myths that it might have a small impact on your credit score, but over time, if you're paying off things, if you're keeping that credit utilization percentage low, you're going to have a much higher credit score. And this is one of the ways that I've been able to maintain an 824 credit score with opening around 25 different credit cards. And if you want to see videos on that, I'll make sure to leave some links at the end of this video talking about my 25 credit cards and the top 5 credit cards that I recommend in 2021. Now, moving on to number 6, the last big impactor on your credit score is going to be hard inquiries. And this is going to be anytime that somebody checks your credit. Maybe you're taking out a loan or you're buying a car and you need to get some financing for that. What they'll do is they'll run a hard inquiry to make sure and check your credit history, check your credit score. And if you do pass their test, whatever threshold they have for giving out the loan, they'll take that hard inquiry, get that information, and then approve you or deny you for the loan, depending on what situation you're in. And again, just something to mention that a lot of credit cards utilize a soft score, but sometimes they do a hard score. So a lot of times you'll see these pre-approved credit cards and they'll use a soft pull compared to a hard pull. These are just soft inquiries versus hard inquiries. And again, the hard inquiries are going to have a much bigger impact on your credit score. But if you've been doing this for a long time, like myself, they're not as impactful because you have so many other positive factors impacting your credit score that a soft pull or hard pull here and there aren't really going to make a huge difference. Again, this is the last one. It is a low impact, but again, it is something to consider, especially when you're getting started off with your credit score journey, is making sure that you're not using any really frequent hard inquiries to your credit score. And again, making sure your credit score is up to date and making sure that you're tracking it is going to be something really important. I use Mint and Credit Karma to really stay on top of my finances. And again, I'll leave all those links below. And if you made it this far, I want to talk to you about my travel hacking masterclass. I'll leave some details below. If you want to learn more about opening up credit cards, why I've opened up more than 25 different credit cards over the years, and how that's helped me earn hundreds of thousands of dollars in free travel, I'll leave some details below in the description. So again, if you made it this far, go ahead and smash that like button. Make sure you leave a comment below and let me know. I'm curious if anybody in my audience has a higher credit score. Let me know what your credit score is. And if you beat an 824, I might have a free gift for you. So make sure you leave a comment below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your day.